Hi there, welcome to I Lone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Capricorn energy. I'm going to get out a few of the Kipper cards, and then I'm going to get tarot and clarifiers on top of that to figure out what the story is. Keep in mind that everybody harnesses some Capricorn energy, so Capricorn is that earth sign aspect of ourself where we put in hard work and effort to build our security and stability. It's that aspect of ourselves that's kind of driven and ambitious, but we got to be careful. Positive Capricorn energy is about doing those things so we have freedom in our life, so that we feel liberated. But if we're not careful, the very things that we're putting in work and effort to have, kind of the byproduct of those can kind of enslave us. It ends up maybe becoming a workaholic, ends up becoming more about pride and image than being able to live our authentic life. We end up becoming a slave to, I don't know, the work life or the prestige or whatever, that we can't even live authentically. I think we'll end there. On the bottom of the deck, we have wealthy man, which can be, it just represents someone taking action in the world who is stable and abundant, male or female. It's masculine energy taking action in the world, and we all take action in the world in masculine energy. So, which I do see, King of Pentacles, I see that as Capricorn energy. So, we have Privileged Lady in reverse, Message in reverse, Concern, Mature Woman. A wealthy person could have been unloving. They could have let go of somebody who was loving. They aren't communicating. Now they could be concerned that the person that they let go of who was loving isn't communicating with them. And because if they're in shadowy Capricorn energy and kind of pride and ego, they maybe thought that person would definitely communicate with them again. I mean, who wouldn't want to communicate with them? They're wealthy, stable, abundant, have image, status, reputation. For other people, they could have let go of someone who was privileged, who maybe had, money in abundance in a more materialistic manner, and that person's not communicating with them. I don't know. Could go either way. We'll have to see. Oh, and everybody can harness their Capricorn energy in a positive manner or negative manner. If people choose to use theirs in a negative manner, and that's where they come from, is more their pride, ego, selfishness, greed, they're going to reject people in their life who are working in positive Capricorn energy because you don't fit. At one time you might have been on the same page, but when they decided to tip into their shadowy nature, then it didn't work out anymore. And you could be dealing with the Capricorn sun sign, and they could be the one who tipped into shadow, and you're the one in positive, or vice versa. I did get some power surrender cards to see what an overall theme might be, and it says surrender to what is. Flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accept it exactly as it is, and it will bring you peace. And surrender, the reason that came out is because we need to surrender to our intuition. Tune in to your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. It can be really confusing if you've been in a relationship with someone. It could be a parent, a child, a grandparent, best friend, or a love relationship. When they decide to, we'd have to check to see why they got triggered into being in more shadowy. Maybe they were always someone who kind of hovered back and forth in the middle, and then something happens where it's like, nope, I'm definitely doing the pride, ego, selfishness thing, and we don't really know why, but, we could just accept that it's a sign from the universe. Maybe the universe knew that this person waffled, and in order to keep moving forward with you, when you are someone who is stable and nurturing and loving, you You don't want a thief in your life. And the universe could kind of see this person maybe was a thief. You know, they present themselves as maybe nurturing and loving when they get in relationships, but they kind of aren't really quite maybe willing to invest. And it got to that point where, it's kind of the squeeze gets put on people where it's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to tip over into positivity more and move forward in love, hope, and faith and belief? Or are you going to tip over to your shadow side and be more selfish and greedy? So take it as it happened, because the universe said people have to make a decision and reveal themselves. So it was maybe revealed to you. Tell us about the privileged lady. Okay. Oh, okay. So I think this was someone who maybe before, well, we'll follow it one way through and then we'll go through it a different way. They could have been somebody who maybe the privileged lady represents kind of like Empress energy in the tarot, someone who's emotionally just and fair and balanced in their Libra energy and in their Taurus energy. They're putting in hard work and effort and committed and dedicated, um, but then they flipped over in reverse, if they ever were in that bright. um, and they decided to put work and effort into emotionally walking away from people who really put in work and effort to move forward in their life. This person wants to be a Queen of Pentacles, be with a Queen of Pentacles, someone who's maybe not so much about love and creativity and dedication. Could be more like, I just want it to be about money and materialism and wealth. And so they walked away from whoever they were working with and who was putting in work and effort, who probably wanted this person to walk away from the old ways of thinking, believing, and perceiving in order to know their own emotional worth and value. It was time. It's kind of like that was the next phase. And the universe knew that too, that it's like, it's time for everybody to, you might have been able to work together really well here, but it's gotten to the point to go to the next step where people have to know their emotional worth and value. They have to know how to emotionally nurture themselves. The Queen of Pentacles would be a counterpart to a King of Pentacles. And in positive energy, those aspects of ourself nurture everything we invest in. And of course, the most important person to nurture first, so you can nurture others and your creations and your jobs, is yourself. And in order to nurture yourself, it's like parenting yourself, being your own best mother, father, coach voice. We've all grown up and matured in our life because of being treated with love and compassion and forgiveness and respect and honor. This person would have had to walk away of old ways of being, maybe where they just focused more on work and money and materialism. And they would have needed to walk away from some old ways of thinking, believing, and perceiving in order to emotionally get connected in with themselves. And that causes them a lot of stress and anxiety. So this person instead decided, I'm just going to go walk away to someone who I feel could be a partner for me that, kind of comes more from the foundation I come from. And it maybe isn't about having to know your emotional worth and value. It's like, let's just make it about work. Let's make it about money. Let's make it about stability. So tell us about the message reversed. So I guess with message reverse, um, they weren't communicating. They were dealing with someone who was loving and Queen of Cups, emotional water sign energy. But this person is thinking, you know what? I'm kind of focused on a person from my past that, I feel like a relationship didn't work out with them, but I think I could reunite with them maybe. Because that's the type of foundation I want to hold on to. I really don't want to do this loving emotional thing so much. Maybe they have a lot of earth sign in their chart. Or maybe it's all about wealth. So they held back. They weren't opening up. They weren't communicating with message reverse. So then tell us about the concern card. So they could have put a lot of creative effort into juggling maybe the old person they used to be aligned with and their kind of toxic energy, or a Capricorn that they went and took creative action towards. So they could have felt overwhelmed, so they juggled a soulmate and were toxic and controlling. Because again, if they weren't going to go get in another relationship, they wanted the relationship to stay the way it was, the way they like it to be. And it's not, the Lover's card looks just like the Devil Capricorn card, except it has an angel in the sun and no chains around the neck. Maybe this person's version of what a partner should be like isn't someone who knows their worth and value. Maybe they want to be a little more codependent. Devil card can be about being codependent. If people know their worth and value are coming from the energy of love, they could be afraid that in the future this person will walk away from them because they don't really come from that energy. They operate more from fear, insecurity, maybe pride and selfishness. But otherwise, they held back from somebody loving. They put a lot of effort towards, I would say, juggling maybe in a relationship they got in with a Capricorn, positive or negative, and they took kind of non-committal or reckless action to go towards that person. They were keeping things hidden in shadowy Pisces energy. And the whole thing is, this person, you're either in the energy of the sun, which is life-giving energy, or people are authentically themselves. People are warm and loving. It's a energy where people can grow and thrive. This person is in moon energy. It's like, see, I look like the sun, but they're really not. It's not life-giving energy. There's things hidden beneath the surface of their emotions that they're not revealing. They're not being authentically themselves. Tell us about the mature woman. I think when this person left one relationship with someone who is loving, they had been in a relationship with someone who, in high priestess energy, was intuitive. They kind of tap into their Cancer and Pisces emotional water sign energy and are very intuitive. And they're also in positive Empress energy of Libra, Taurus, balanced, hardworking, creative, inspired, does everything with love. And they could have backstabbed that person and betrayed someone who is intuitive, that this person harnesses shadowy Libra Taurus energy. They're all about being surrounded by the luxuries of life and don't want to put in the work and effort. And that's why they moved away. So they betrayed people who are emotionally mature because they're not emotionally mature. They just want it to be about being wealthy. Where are we at? 14 minutes. What is it that they're keeping hidden? But I do see a redemption story in here, so we'll talk about that too here. They were keeping hidden that they were maybe treating this relationship more like a job, and they were trying to balance out their emotions about love. So they were creating an illusion, and they're in a mental prison about maybe having this new beginning with the Queen of Pentacles, or taking sexual action towards that Queen of Pentacles. They could be stressed that their partner, who does know their worth and value, will get a new beginning offer from someone who is a counterpart, is a King of Pentacles. Tell us about the stress and anxiety. When they rejected being a positive Empress energy of balanced Libra Taurus energy, because of the Hierophant. Because of their belief system of how they view life. We all have a belief system, that kind of gets instilled in us throughout childhood and throughout our life from culture and society and TV and movies, unless we really examine it and determine to go through all these thoughts that make up our belief system. And it's like, who put that in there? Dang, I think that got put in there from Uncle Joe when I was 12, or Aunt Sally when I was 18, or whatever. Sometimes we need to question our belief system. It's like, why do I even believe that? Especially if it's self-limiting beliefs. Why do I not believe in myself? But because this person was focused on building their stability and their foundation, they could have walked away to go be with a Queen of Pentacles because they wanted to be the wealthy man. They were stressed about putting in maybe work and effort in Taurus energy of being committed and dedicated to a relationship. So, but they held back, they didn't communicate, they took a lot of creative effort because they have concerns, fears, insecurities, and they got in a relationship, it looks like, in a relationship with someone in their own shadowy Capricorn energy. Who knows if they really got in a relationship with a Capricorn or not. But they were hiding that they were putting an effort maybe into that relationship while they tried to balance out their emotions about someone maybe from their past that was loving. Right now they're trying to create an illusion. They still have stress and anxiety about maybe who they want as a partner, because it depends on what's their foundation, what's their belief system. What is it to be a King of Pentacles? What side? Do you embrace both sides and try to find balance between your Capricorn nature? Is it all going to be about being a wealthy man, kind of tipped in your shadow? Or are you going to quit being a thief? Depriving yourself of a loving relationship because you're getting in a relationship that you're treating like a job just to have stability and wealth or status and image. The community card is like a foundation. Are you going to be stable and abundant and nurturing and caring for everything that you've invested in, such as relationships, where you come from the energy of love and you quit being a thief and you work together with others? Or not? They could have been in a relationship with this person, and then they were stressed out because afraid maybe their other partner that they had been in a relationship with, when they rejected being emotionally loving to themselves, they reject people outside of themselves who are loving. If they did grow and mature, they could have found being in a relationship where they weren't being that loving, abundant self, where they were just treating a relationship like a job. They could have decided, I can't do this anymore. This is never going to bring me emotional wish fulfillment. I do need to learn how to nurture myself and give a lot of thought to my belief system. So they maybe weren't communicating with anyone. You know, the energy of love has them in regret. Maybe something to do with Scorpio energy. And so they're holding back right now and they're giving a lot. They have some concern. They could feel a little overwhelmed, trying to get their balance, trying to get aligned within themselves, to tap into positive Capricorn energy where they put in work and effort, but to have that stability and abundance in their life, but to free themselves so that they can take action on the things they're truly passionate about. And they might be keeping their concern hidden right now, but they are putting in work and effort to try to balance out their emotions about being in a mutually loving relationship and believing that they can manifest their dreams into reality. But then, maybe then, if they got out of a relationship with someone who was stable and wealthy, they could be afraid of that person getting in another relationship. You know, if they're in the one relationship, they're worried about the other person. This would be one of those, I want my cake and to eat it too. It's like, how about you both stay there? I guess this person would love to be a polygamist. Blah. I think that's the word. Tell us about their stress and anxiety. Or they could just be stressed about emotionally moving forward in a creative, inspired way. They'd have to put an end to the old way of being. You know, it's kind of like, you know, this person ends. You know, now when this person would present themselves in the world, it's kind of like combining the two, that they emotionally present themselves as an emotionally loving, nurturing person. It's kind of like being vulnerable, you know. This way was kind of maybe a little bit more of a facade, and now they'd have to be a little more emotionally vulnerable in the world in order to have this new beginning. They'd have to end the old way of being. They'd have to get balance between their heart and mind. They would have to emotionally mature, listen to their intuition, be in positive Empress energy, and move away from the win at all costs attitude. Tell us about the stress and anxiety. About seeing their dreams come into reality for 10 of Pentacles. So, you know, this person really wants the stability and abundance in their life. They're just concerned if they can do it, but really it's from the energy of love. And when people, that's when you're in your most, you know, authentic self that you're supposed to be. And when you do things from the energy of love, you know, you're creative, you know, you're functioning at your fullest potential, and you're creative and you're inspired and you're passionate and you're loving, and, you know, you're aligned with truth. You're kind of in line with the universe. You're now in the flow, in the zone. And when you're in that, that's when you can have all these creative ideas and new insights about, gee, maybe I could do this and maybe I could do that. And oh, what about this idea? You know, and that's when you truly can take stable, abundant action in your life. So I think this person just had fears, but it says, surrender to what is, don't fight it, and listen to your intuition. You know, when we listen to our intuition and connect in with ourselves emotionally, you know, we know ourselves. You know, it's kind of like we're connected in with the invisible realm of the universe. And it's from the invisible realm that ideas come from. Inventions and new ideas. You know, if we keep working with the exact same thing the world has, we never would have gotten out of caves and building fires outside of our cave. You know, we have to tap into that invisible realm. Our intuition, our emotions, that's where the ideas are at. That's connecting in with the universe. And that's when we can come up with some new ideas. The Empress, male or female, that's somebody who's on fire. They're functioning on all cylinders. They're tapped in, turned on, in the flow of divine and creativity and inspiration. And those are people who give birth to new things. It takes a while. It just doesn't pop out just like that. But you listen to things that come to you intuitively. I read a really interesting article about how, different things being created in the world, like, oh, when guns were created, when light bulbs were created, different people in the world that didn't even know each other at the same time were working on these things. It's kind of like, the universe wants people to grow and learn, and for this to keep growing like this, and expanding and creating. And, so it's like these energies are floating out there for people to do it, to write these books and paint these paintings and come up with this new invention. But people have to tap into that intuitive realm, that creative, emotional realm of ideas and belief. And it takes time to gestate, but then, it can take a lot of work and effort. It can be kind of overwhelming. But when you do, it will all be worth it because you will have given birth to a miracle. So, there we go, Capricorn energy. If you were dealing with anyone like this, you put an end to people who are secretive and just wanted to be surrounded by luxuries of life, and you moved forward and took stable, abundant action in your life. Other people who had been in shadowy energy, it is possible they could redeem themselves when they know that this will never bring them true abundance in their life. They rejected their own loving nature in order to focus on limiting like their emotional investment to money and materialism, and maybe getting into relationships for that purpose. And if they balance out their emotions and start to believe in themselves, the universe is offering them the opportunity to take creative, inspired action. If they emotionally mature, quit being secretive, quit being about wanting to be like the pampered person in a relationship, male or female, wanting the attention on them. I should be surrounded by all luxuries. No, I'm not maybe loving and giving. I'm focused on work and money and materialism. If they quit doing that and start doing everything, we're meant to live our life and enjoy our life every day. Maybe this person could create something new for themselves that would bring them, they wouldn't have to maybe work so hard. They wouldn't have to go get in relationships for money. Maybe. But there you go, Capricorn. I wish you all peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.